Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesiger. With more and more Americans getting vaccinated, the U.S. economy appeared poised for a takeoff. However, today's job numbers were not what was expected, and some, including Montana Governor Greg Gianforte, believes Americans are too comfortable with unemployment benefits. But President Biden dismissed those claims that Americans don't want to work as loose talk and stressed that it will take time to bounce back. Weijia Jiang has details tonight.
President Biden tried to frame the disappointing jobs report as just another step towards economic recovery, but he acknowledged the difficult task ahead.
And we knew this wouldn't be a sprint, it'd be a marathon. Our efforts are starting to work, but the climb is steep, and we still have a long way to go.
Employers added just 266,000 jobs in April, sharply lower than the 1 million that many economists had predicted, and the lowest monthly figure since the president took office. Mr. Biden argued that money from the COVID relief package passed in March will help once it works its way through the economy. But he admitted that doesn't help people who are hurting right now.
While jobs are coming back, there's still millions of people out there looking for work.
But some employers, like at this Boston area pizza shop, are struggling to find those people.
I never thought we'd be as short-handed as we are right now.
Manufacturing and construction companies, along with businesses in the service industry, say they are dealing with a labor shortage.
We definitely have the clientele, we definitely have the business. Now it's just the part like trying to get people to come in to work.
Republicans claim that additional unemployment benefits are to blame. $300 a week in federal aid on top of state payments that average $320 a week.
They're better off financially to stay home rather than go back to work.
The Chamber of Commerce today called for an end to those benefits, and the GOP governors of South Carolina and Montana have announced its residents would be cut off from those funds next month, arguing they're harming the economy. The president was asked if the benefits were discouraging people from looking for work.
No, nothing measurable.
The White House is echoing economists who point to several reasons why people are not going back to work, including the COVID fear factor, saying that some people are nervous about going into a workspace, especially if it's a crowded bar or a restaurant. They also say parents are struggling to find childcare and that some businesses are opening much faster than schools. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
All right, now turning to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh in the Weather Center. And Ed, you've been tracking some storms tonight. How are things looking out there right now?
Finally getting a little quieter in areas to the west of Billings, but check out, here were some of the storms early in the evening. Belgrade, Bozeman, Livingston, winds well over 50 miles an hour, and some small hail around Wilsall and also Manhattan. That storm system continued to move across the area, bringing gusty winds to around Billings and Big Timber. Again, over 50 miles per hour recorded through the evening. Now the storm is starting to produce some heavier rain across eastern Montana, and especially the Lewistown Great Falls area has continued to drench some areas. Stronger storms east of Billings now. It's just kind of done the little duck and weave around the Billings area, but left areas of eastern Montana with a bit more rain. It's also left, you can see in those darker blue shaded areas, that's all lightning. The lighter blue shaded areas show where there's the right setup for at least some small hail. Take a closer look at this and how this is all going to shake out for the rest of the weekend in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Ed. A sad day for the mining city as a major piece of Montana history went up in flames this morning. Early this morning, the historic and iconic M&M Bar and Cafe in Uptown Butte caught fire and is ruled a total loss. Fire officials suspect the flames began in the ductwork of the building and then spread throughout the entire building. The building stood in the heart of Butte for 130 years. By the time firefighters attacked the blaze, it had gutted the inside of the historic landmark. No injuries were reported and the cause is yet to be determined. An announcement today that Montana has reached an agreement with Alberta to provide COVID-19 vaccines for Canadian truckers. Governor Greg Gianforte calls it critical action to keep trade channels open. The agreement will provide the first dose of vaccines to Alberta commercial truckers who are regulated to transport goods into the U.S. The state will begin providing those free vaccines on Monday at a rest stop near Conrad. And Governor Gianforte visited Missoula College today with a focus on the demand for cyber jobs. He toured the college early this morning to learn about the Cyber Defense 2-year education program at the University of Montana. That program is vetted by the Department of Homeland Security and the NSA and hopes to fill employment gaps in the tech industry. University officials brought the governor up to speed on their courses, saying they're bringing jobs to Missoula, but the discussion focused on cybersecurity and cyber defense in Montana.
These cyber jobs are in huge demand. We estimate 600 to 700 open positions in Montana today, and that need's only going to grow. So what U of M and Missoula College is doing is really on the forefront. This is one of just 4 centers in the country doing this sort of training, and it's great for Montana to be leading again.
Members of the National Guard, local technology companies, and a tribal outreach specialist also engaged in a roundtable discussion, bringing up what they'd like to see in the incoming workforce and in rural areas with connectivity issues. And Governor Gianforte stayed busy today signing House Bill 112 into law, which bans transgender athletes from competing as the gender they identify with in high school and college sports. It's a decision that could have an impact on NCAA playoff games in Montana. The NCAA has indicated it may revoke championship hosting opportunities for states that have transgender athlete bans. That move would impact playoff games hosted by UM or Montana State University, for example. All across Montana this week, giving has been celebrated. Yesterday, the Billings Community Foundation had its Day of Giving. Tonight, those in Stillwater County came out for a party. Q2's David J. has more on the Columbus Community Foundation fundraiser.
Russ, we're here at the Stillwater Pavilion where they're celebrating a Columbus Day of Giving, and they've done it quite a bit, but this is the first time they've had a big party.
We have the salsa band that's here, John Roberts y Pan Blanco. I know they have quite a following. What's awesome is our treasurer on the board actually went to school in Malta and knows these guys, and we got them here to play for us tonight. It's a great party. It's a celebration after a week long of really working hard to raise funds. We just want everybody to come out, enjoy, have fun. It's crazy how many nonprofits are in our small community, but they work so hard. So we have 18 of them here today represented. There's silent auction items sitting around on their tables so people can come and bid on those, all working towards that awesome funding. Not only do we want to raise money to grow our endowment so that we can be here for Columbus today and here for Columbus tomorrow, the next day, and for generations to come, but we also kind of act as a leader and director of the community and all the nonprofits. If they need help in training, learn how to build a strong board, stuff like that, they come to us for those type of things, and we're able to help them get speakers in here, help them grow the capacity within their organizations. We really listen to the community and ask them what they need, turn around and respond to that.
Thank you. They raised $106,000 last year. The goal this year is to surpass that, and they have until midnight to make those donations. Russ, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, David J. reporting. Marisa Hauge says the Community Foundation in Montana work together but contribute to their local communities, nonprofits. Still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, a story of hope as new and expecting moms now have a new avenue when seeking help in dealing with depression. Plus, from good music to good business, we'll catch up with one Montana woman who knows a lot about both. Then later, the PBR headed back to the Magic City, but will the top Montanans be making the trip? We'll have the answer coming up in just a bit.